just like that, easy as pie, right? No, no, it's actually the next day. What is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to Redwood RC. We are back here on the bench today with the IR60 build, the little TRX4M, and we are here for one very special reason, and that is because this weekend we have a micro crawler competition at the local spot out there on the rocks, and I'm super excited for it. And there are a couple of things that I think this truck desperately needs in order to make it a competitive vehicle in this series. And it's super close to being there, but I think it needs just a couple more things. So we're gonna pop in a little bit closer. We're gonna take a look at what I got, and we're gonna go ahead and put it on the truck. We're gonna bring it out on the trail and see how this competition goes. I'm really excited. I cannot wait. It's my first competition, first event, so pretty pumped about that. We're gonna see how both of these builds do. We're gonna take the Bronco and the IR60 out, compete in Class 1 as well as the Unlimited Class 3, whatever they're calling it. Very excited. Post the details up here so you guys can take a look at it. It's gonna be a super sick event. Very excited about this, but I think you'll probably see this after I get to it. So let's pull you in a little bit closer. We'll take a look at what we got. We'll put it on the truck. We'll see how it affects the performance. All right, so we have this truck pretty well sorted out as far as I'm concerned. I'm really happy. I've been playing around with the shock mounting positions a little bit. I've been playing around with a few different settings here and there, and I am super pumped. This truck performs as well as I hope it could. I mean, for what it is, very happy with the results. Now, that being said, there are a couple of things that I need to address. So I went ahead and I swapped in the Dumbo RC receiver in here. I need to address some wiring. Things are not great. I kind of just stuffed it in there, but it got it moving at least. The one thing that I think this truck really needs is a set of tires. This thing struggles with grip. And as well set up as it is, the components we've got, the weight distribution we've got, it should not struggle like it does. And I think it comes down to these tires. And what I think the problem is these tires, when you look at them really closely, actually are not, there's many different levels of tread in these tires. So what you kind of have is like a chevron pattern that's raised up, and sort of the opposite pattern that's sunken down. So that works really well in mud, sand, dirt, loose gravel, that sort of thing, where you want to kind of dig in and get some traction. However, on rock, I think what's ending up happening is you're reducing your contact patch by a lot. So what we've got to go ahead and replace those, of course, went ahead, hit up the little guy. I have been wanting a set of black labels for a long time. I'm very excited about these tires, so really happy to go ahead and put these on the truck. I think these are gonna help out a lot. Now, I do have the Endura yellow silicone inserts in these tires already. I'm not sure how I feel about them. See how they feel side by side, and we'll go ahead and get these installed on the truck. This is gonna, I think, solve our grip issue. I'm really excited. I hope I can get them scrubbed in a little bit before the competition this weekend, but I don't think it'll matter that much. So really pumped to put these on. Next thing in line is a new battery. So I left my battery plugged in to the truck overnight, and flattened, killed, destroyed another battery. Hopefully I can get it back with a little bit of tinkering, but for the time being, and as well as to reduce the sprung weight in the chassis, went ahead and picked up two of these Gaoneng 300 milliamp hour batteries. These are super light. These are less than half the size of the tattoo battery that I was running previously. So I expect less than half the runtime, but also it's less than half the weight. This is an extremely light battery. I forget exactly how much. Let's go ahead and weigh this thing right now. We'll bust the scale out. Now this is a 3S 300 milliamp hour. This should work really, really well, and I'm super excited, and it's gonna fit just about anywhere. Let's see. 28.1 grams, so just a hair over 28 grams. This is super light. Just for comparison, here's a big chunky boy. This is an Ovonic 850 milliamp hour. Same 3S 80C, but you can see it's considerably larger. This is one of the first batteries that I picked up for this truck when I first got it. This won't even fit in here anymore. So these are essentially useless to me now, which is awesome. But the 850 milliamp hour weighs 70.3 grams. So like I said, this is about less than half the weight. It's also about half the weight of the 650 milliamp hour that we've been running so far. And it should just slide right into where we were before. No problems at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple of minutes, get these wheels off, get the little guy tires mounted, get it back on the truck, and we'll be back just like this. Woo! Just like that, easy as pie, right? No, no, it's actually the next day. But we did get a lot of stuff done, and I want to share that with you now, so let's check that out. The first thing, obviously, these little guy racing black label tires. I'm so pumped on these. I've been looking at these for a while. I've really wanted them, and I gotta say, they do not disappoint. They are super grippy. They feel much grippier than these guys, and I feel like the tread design is gonna be a much, much better option for the rocks around here. What I've done, I went ahead and kept the Injora inserts. Now these do come with some decent foams. They feel suspiciously like the ones that come in the RC four-wheel drive tires as well. But I went ahead and kept the Injora silicones. The reason I did that is I really like the sidewall support on these. They don't let the tire fall over, but you do still get a bit of squish. What I have done with them is went around and trimmed out every other band. So this is actually from the front, but in the rear, went around and trimmed out every other little notch just to soften these up a little bit. And then in the front, you can see it clearly, went ahead and removed the band, the outer band altogether. And that has added a lot of softness, a lot of squish to the front. That's gonna let these front tires really grip and grab while not squishing so much in the rear. That's gonna help us climb those vertical ledges, obstacles, that sort of thing. That's gonna really let that rear end sort of dig in and push us up the hill while letting these fronts sort of sink down and claw their way up. I think this is gonna be a great setup. I haven't tried it yet, but I really think it's gonna be awesome. I did also remove the rock lights. I like these, they're really cool, they look awesome, but this truck primarily gets run in the daytime, so they're kind of useless. They are also added a bunch of clutter and complexity to the chassis setup, and they are a drain on these little teeny batteries. So went ahead and just ditched those for the sake of simplifying everything, tucked my wiring in a little bit better than it was previously, went ahead and reorganized a couple of things just so that everything sits a little bit better. Quickly sprayed these little aluminum jobs black just to kind of blend in better with the chassis. And now what we need to do is clearance the body just a little bit to keep it from rubbing on these tires so much. So I've already gone ahead and done that on this side, and you can see here where it's sort of white as opposed to the black that was sprayed on there. I've gone ahead and just trimmed out just a bit, just to help clear. And you can tell versus this side how it kind of dips down a little more sharply, and we get this hard corner here as well as this little dip. So we're gonna try to mirror that same kind of cut over here as well. And then we'll go ahead and slap the body back on, and it's gonna be ready for its first test run. So let's get that done. All right, I'm stoked with how that came out. That is super nice. These match really well. I'm pretty happy with how the edges turned out. I might take a little bit of a file to them, just deburr a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and slap some paint on there just to blend it in. Go ahead and put the body back on, and we will hit the trail. We got to see how this thing performs before the weekend because we do have that competition coming up, and I really want to do well, so let's give it a shot. All right. Here it is, boys and girls. This is the finished product, and I am absolutely hyped. I really think this truck is gonna be a killer on the rocks. I adjusted the shocks a little bit, had to do a little bit of trimming here and there, a little bit of adjustment, but man, this thing is sitting exactly how I want it. I lost a mirror. I'm gonna have to glue that back on or something, not a big deal. But overall, wow. I mean, it sits exactly how I wanted it to sit all along. The tires, I may have gone a little overboard cutting the inserts. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of squish in those front tires, but that's okay. That may help, that may hurt. Worst case scenario, I might go back to the foam in the rear and then switch these rear inserts to the front, kind of stiffen everything up a little bit, but we'll see how it performs on the rocks on its test run. Overall, I'm just super happy with this. I mean, everything tucks up real nicely. We got a ton of flex, and it just sits super nice. The vertical on this truck is pretty crazy. Almost a 90-degree before it tips over. I don't have a way to measure this, but probably about 50-60 degrees on the side hill. I'm super pumped. I cannot wait to take this thing out on the rocks. So let's take a quick look at it before she gets dirty and possibly damaged, because this might be the best this truck ever looks again. Then we'll take this thing out, we'll hit the rocks, and we'll see how it performs with the new tires, the smaller, lighter battery, rewired setup, and repositioned, retuned suspension. Really excited to see how this works out. So let's get to it.